I believe after hearing all of this wonderful inspiration that we need a strong leader and we need the energy in our city to continue flowing and to have the smiles around our city, the leadership and the inspiration constantly at our hands. So what I want to do next is welcome a very strong leader in our community and someone that I believe in my eyes shows good morals, good values, integrity, and passion that is derived from a place of genuine love for our city and for us as individuals. So please help me welcome Mayor Greg Fischer.
Okay, good morning, NAWBO. Oh, come on, let's go. It's election day, time to get pumped. Thank you, Abigail. I appreciate those nice words, and I want to thank you all with NAWBO have been fantastic leaders in the community in many different ways, and today is just another example of that. It's certainly nice to be here with you today and celebrate, I think, one of democracy's greatest gifts. That's not only the election, but it's the end of campaign commercials as well. I mean, there has got to be a better way of doing this than all of these relentless commercials, and some of which, I mean, look, let's face it, if we talked the way some of these commercials talk, I don't know about you, but my mother would have washed my mouth out with soap. I mean, it's just horrible. But anyway, today is an important day, obviously, for our city and our state and our country, so I know everybody here is going to go out and vote and encourage those that you love and even don't love to go out and vote and see what happens. But seriously, thanks for the opportunity to be here today. Today we're talking about more than just the people that are going to be in office in the next term or the next administration, but I love your focus on entrepreneurship. I love your focus on these young women that are here today to receive recognition, no matter if you're the top winner or wherever you're at in the hierarchy of awards today. Being here today is a wonderful testimony to what you all have done. And it's an accumulation of experiences like this that really starts building your resume and your outlook and your expectations of what you have for yourself, and it gives you more power and to do what you want to do as you go down the road. So congratulations very much for being here. I'm an entrepreneur. I just happen to be mayor right now, and so I've kind of done the for-profit. Now I'm doing nonprofit. This is a great job in terms of helping people realize their potential as well, which I think is what government should do. If you need help, government should be there to help. If you don't, we need to get out of the way. But it's a wonderful thing, and I would encourage all of you all to think about running for office someday. I know there's a lot of public servants in the room already, as I see various of you all in the crowd, but being able to serve is a real honor, and it requires a lot of entrepreneurial ability to hold public office because you're constantly balancing different objectives. One minute you might be meeting with a Fortune 100 CEO. The next minute you might be meeting with a mother of a homicide victim. And it can all happen within a half an hour. So the ability to be nimble and flexible, empathetic, and understand the situation is as important being a public official as it is being an entrepreneur as well. I started as an entrepreneur when I was very young. We heard the ladies talk about their first job, so mine was like cutting grass, and then I learned how to line tennis courts and thought I was a great entrepreneur. I went down to the Louisville Boat Club and I saw that they had these clay courts, and I went up to the guy and said, look, I will put these tennis courts in for you because I've learned how to do that. And he said, how much will you do it for? I said, $75. And I was thinking to myself, this was like 1974. I said, if this guy pays me $75, I'm going to be like rich. And so he said, you got the job. And I went, yes. And then I came back the next day, and there was some older guy, and he was watching. He was kind of saying, well, you're a real whippersnapper. And he said, I guess you got this job, didn't you? And he said, yeah. And he said, how much did the guy pay you? I said, $75. He says, well, that's funny. I gave him the contract for $150. So it's like, well, anyway, it was good for me. And I've been an entrepreneur my whole life, and it's been a great experience. So it's these kind of entrepreneurial experiences, obviously, that really all of us have our own stories in here. We almost went out of business 3 different times, a company called Servend I was a co-founder of, and I assume a lot of y'all have been in this situation when you're making a sales call on somebody, and if you don't make the sale, you're going to fold up the tent. 3 different times went through that experience, and it's very interesting because to the other person, you're just making a sales call, but to you, it's the survival of your company, and it's those type of experiences that really help you stay in the game, and the longer you're in the game, the better the chance good things are going to happen, right? And the more accumulation of knowledge that you get, so many people say, you know, what's the secret? Well, the secret is staying in it so that you start learning more about what your business is in your industry than anybody else. You know, Malcolm Gladwell calls it the 10,000-hour rule, and it's amazing what happens when you work hard over an extended period of time and learn more than your competitors, and that allows you to spot opportunities that nobody else can see. So it's really not that difficult when you think about what hard work does for you. One of the things that we're really focused on is helping young people in the community get experiences that they normally wouldn't have. A lot of kids have all the opportunities in the world. If you come from an advantaged family, you can go to all the camps that you want to go to. You've traveled around the country, maybe around the world, where you've had experiences that a lot of other people don't get. So it's important for us, I believe, as a community to make sure that not just a small percentage of people have these opportunities available to them, because we won't win as a city if just a small group of people have the opportunities. This past summer, it was interesting, when I took office, the federal government used to give money to cities to hire young people for summer jobs so they could get a little change in their pocket, but also learn what it's like to work in the world. Well, with the federal budget problems, this was all stopped, and so we decided here in Louisville, and said, we've got to keep these programs going. So we raised some money the first year, and then last year we raised $1 million. And as part of these jobs, it was 400 kids, and mainly from backgrounds where they're not connected. Many of us in this room, you can call a friend and say, hey, my son's looking for a job. Can he come over and interview with you? And if he's any good, he gets a job. A lot of families, as you know, don't have that type of connection. So it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So our Summer Works program is designed to help give kids connections so they can get jobs too. So, as I said, we raised $1 million in the private sector, and then we added a component to it. I'd like for Louisville to be known as a great entrepreneurial city. When you see the cities that are really shaking and baking and making things happen, those are cities that are full of innovators and entrepreneurs and a feeling of, we can do this. We will win as a city. And that's how entrepreneurs think. We may not win all the time, but when we got knocked down, we're going to get back up and go at it again. So we introduced into our summer jobs program a series on entrepreneurship from the Kauffman Foundation, who's one of the leading thinkers about entrepreneurship. The program is called the Ice House, and these kids that had the jobs learned how to be entrepreneurs this summer. Every Friday, we'd pay for them to receive training from the Kauffman Foundation and the local teachers that they had coached here. And so we have 400 new entrepreneurs in the community. And we need to connect. I was talking to Lisa earlier. We need to connect our summer jobs program with what you all are doing with your entrepreneurship program so we can put these two together and make more and more success for the city. So stay tuned for that. Last point, I just want to thank you all. How many of you all have heard about our 55,000 degree program in the community? Let me see a show of hands. Okay, that's pretty good, about well over half the people. So 55,000 more college degrees in the community by the year 2020 than what we normally would have. When we achieve that, we'll be in the top quartile of American cities in terms of adults with college education. There's a direct correlation to that in innovation, in entrepreneurship, which of course means opportunities for all of our citizens. So just like your businesses exist to create opportunities. Cities exist to create opportunities so people can jump into them, have a better life for them and their family. So we want to have this focus on our 55,000 degrees, and the way we do that obviously is to help people prepare for high school. So these scholarships that you all are providing today are an example of your all's dedication to 55,000 degrees, to opportunity into the city, and obviously entrepreneurship as well. I'm a big fan of NAWBO. You guys don't just talk. As I say with people, I'm not watching the lips, I watch the action. You guys get it done with the action. Whether it was the national convention you had about a month ago, which has received rave reviews, I think you know that, from all over the country. The NAWBO clubs that I heard about earlier today, where you're going in, rolling up your sleeves and getting it done at the high school level. The Young Entrepreneur Academy, which is just starting off. I mean, these are awesome things. And if you ever start questioning yourself, gosh, we're doing all this work, do not underestimate the difference that you all make when you connect with an open mind and a young person who's looking for a coach, who's looking for a mentor, who's looking for a positive role model. Some of y'all might take that for granted, but that's not out there with everybody. So a little thing to you, when you show some love and some support and some mentoring to somebody, it can be a huge thing to somebody else, and it can change their life in a very, very significant way. And as I watch what NAWBO is doing, I know that changing lives in a positive way is what you guys are all about. So I really appreciate the positive aspect and effect that you all are having on our community. You're growing, you're doing more and more good things, positive force for our city. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate the folks that are here today as the award nominees as well for stepping up at their point in life and saying they want to make a difference as well. So I appreciate the opportunity to come by and say hello, honor you all, thank NAWBO, thank the honorees, and really thank our great country here on Election Day. Thanks, everybody.